It's June 15th, 2012. It's 4:30 in the morning. I'm due to go on a day trip to Blackpool, nearly 200 miles away. I am also severely hungover and my head is thumping. Today is gonna suck. You know what the best bit of the day was? Watching Dastardly and Muttley in their flying machines.
Will they finally stop that perilous pigeon? Find out in Dastardly and Muttley, up next on Boomerang.
True story. I was drinking the previous night, I had a hangover from hell, and I was scheduled to take a 6 AM trip to Blackpool. It was not a fun trip, let's just leave it at that. I did have a good time with the love of my life, but honestly, the least painful bit of the day was watching cartoons in the dark before leaving in the morning. Now why am I telling you this? Because I feel like it. Call it a public service if you want. It's the dangers of drinking, kids. You do not want to take a 6-hour coach ride with some noisy young adults when you have a hangover. Does this story relate to a video I own? Sorta. We're not looking at Dastardly and Muttley and their flying machines per se. We're looking at the precursor to that series, Wacky Races. Right at the absolute bottom of the video pile, we have Wacky Races Volume 1, released in March 2000. I'm guessing there's a Volume 2 out there somewhere. Apparently when I bought this video, it was less than a $5. Good deal, I guess. Cheap value for an annoying little kid. It should keep him happy. Before I can talk about the video, I need to talk about my history with racing. Let it be known that I fucking love races. It doesn't even need to be a serious race, like a marathon or something. As long as there is at least 2 people racing for a prize, no matter how insignificant it may be, I'm good to go. It could be a group of people racing lawnmowers in Grand Theft Auto and I'd be happy. In fact, the less serious the race, the more intrigued I am. It started with Thomas and Friends and the Season 1 episode, Thomas and Bertie, arguably one of the best episodes in Season 1. That was my first exposure to the idea of a race, even though there's nothing at stake.
Well done, Thomas, said Bertie. That was fun. But to beat you over that hill, I should have to grow wings and be an aeroplane.
Then we have the Looney Tunes Special Bumper Collection and The Wild Chase, where Speedy Gonzales and the Roadrunner race for... I have no idea. The Dukes of Hazzard. The movie kinda sucks, but the greatest bit of this movie has to be the Hazzard Road Rally, where Bo Duke enters the race pursued by half the police force of Hazzard County. And then there's my second favourite movie franchise, Fast and Furious. Every single movie in that series has at least one race. It wouldn't be a Fast and Furious movie without it. To pick just one, let's take Fast 5. That movie still puts a smile on my face.
I got 100,000 says I can take you all in the next quarter mile.
Yeah, your broke ass has got 100 grand.
We pull off this job, I will. The next 2 lights, 100,000.
We don't pull this job off, we're probably dead anyway. Let's make it $1 million.
I like that. All right, $1 million quarter mile.
I still love that movie. But of course, when I was a kid, those last 2 mean nothing to me. All I have is Thomas and Bertie and The Wild Chase. There's probably more out there, the amount of cartoons I watched, but those 2 leap out the most. When you think about how much I watched Cartoon Network in those days, it could not have taken much for Wacky Races to win me over. This show is fantastic. It combines racing and comedy and does it perfectly. If anything, it's a shame Wacky Races ended so soon. They only made 17 episodes, each with 2 races equaling 34 episode segments. Sure, there's the reboot, it's an okay show, nothing terrible, but it doesn't hold a candle to the original. Bearing in mind there's only 17 episodes, how many does this video have? Well, after 10 minutes of promos for Pokemon, the Iron Giant and Cartoon Network, there's 95 minutes worth of cartoons here, resulting in 10 races. Wyoming, the Dipsy Doodle Desert Derby, the Speedy Arkansas Traveler, Freewheeling to Wheeling, Dash to Delaware, Real Gone Ape, the Super Silly Swamp Spirit, Wacky Race to Ripshaw, real original title there, Whizzing to Washington, and Traffic Jambalaya. 10 races out of 34. That's just under a third of the series. At 95 minutes, that's a decent chunk. There's not much I can say really, the same racers race from A to B in 10 minutes. The only things that change are the race locations and cheating methods the racers utilise to succeed in their desire to win. You know, despite the racers cheating in every race, no one is ever disqualified for cheating other than Dick Dastardly. In one race, not on this video, Dastardly actually wins the race, but is disqualified by stretching the front of his car across the finish line. It's absolute bollocks really. If you look at the finish line in normal speed, Dastardly has a legit win. I know Dastardly is a serious cheater most of the time, but he got screwed in that race. That being said, this is the first time I've watched the video in close to 10 years, and it has aged not too bad as a series. I don't normally regard 60s cartoons that highly other than Scooby-Doo, but Wacky Races seems to do quite well. It's not truly amazing, it's still entertaining, but it's not going to win any awards from me. Dick Dastardly is easily the best character in the series and saves the show as far as I'm concerned. If he wasn't there, I probably wouldn't care that much for it. Honestly, he gets all the good lines in the series. One part that still gives me a good chuckle is in Wacky Race to Ripshaw. It has probably his best quote in the entire series.
Now, what are you gonna do, Dastardly? Cheat? What else? Yeah, watch. Now I'm back in first place. Cheaters always win. Sometimes, that is.
In the long haul, I probably hold Wacky Races to the same level as Dastardly and Muttley and their flying machines. If it's on TV, sure, I'm happy to indulge, but it's not a must for me. 90s cartoons still hold up better in my eyes. Wacky Races, not amazing, but not a bust. Still a classic. For less than £5, it does the job perfectly fine. Well, you know what? Christmas is coming, and I say it's time for another Thomas & Friends release. It's that time of the season when you think about it.
It's that time.